in a fried-out Kombi on a hippie trailhead full of zombies.
Hi, my name is Madeline and I live in a small town called Broken Hill in the middle of nowhere in outback Australia. As for koalas and kangaroos, they are more common than you may think. People joke about how Australians ride kangaroos to school, but really in the country we do have quite a lot of kangaroos just out and about, walking around town. They're really friendly. We don't go up to them and touch them, but they do come onto our lawns. They drink out of buckets of water. We just don't touch them. Koalas are not found as far inland as I am. They're more towards the coast and unfortunately our bushfire regions, which has been really difficult in the past few months, recovering from the bushfires and having this mass death and devastation of the koala population, but they're really nice species too. One of the key parts of Australian culture is the Bunnings sausage sizzles. Every weekend, your local Bunnings puts on a sausage sizzle to raise money for a charity. For anyone who doesn't know, a sausage sizzle is pretty much just Q or tomato sauce and onions. The Bunnings sausage sizzles are such an important part of Australian culture that in 2018, when a man slipped over on a loose piece of onion from a sausage, he complained about it and Bunnings decided to change the positioning of the onion on the sausage sizzle, which caused protests and public outcry from Australia. Australia really loves their sausage sizzles, so much so that it inspired a shapes flavour, which is pretty much just a biscuit we have here. Australia has some famous foods such as Vegemite, meat pies and fairy bread. So fairy bread is pretty much just normal bread with butter on it, and then you dip it in a bowl full of hundreds and thousands, and there you go, that's fairy bread. It's a treat that's common at children's birthday parties in Australia and is also just really tasty. Meat pies are very popular amongst tradies. They always get their meat pies at the deli or the servo on the corner, and that's a bit of Australian slang right there. Servo is a service station or a gas station, so you get your meat pie and your tomato sauce, and that's your lunch, also known as morning smoko. My town is most well known for the mines, which is what originally brought people here almost 150 years ago. It is also well known for the Broken Hill Festival, which is a drag festival that happens every year, which brings in people from Sydney and Adelaide and all over Australia.
Do you come from a land down under? Where women go and men wonder. Can't you hear the thunder? You better run, you better take cover.
Para mi yachta Cochabamba, se va la primera. Si algún orgullo yo tengo es de ser Jochala, porque esta tierra bayuna ninguna la iguala, porque a mi tierra bayuna ninguna la iguala. Ejemplo de valentía, Cochabamba sin par, se mueren por ser tus hijos los de otro lugar. Se mueren por ser tus hijos los de otro lugar. Invita. Tus mujeres tienen un gran corazón, obsesionante dulzura y hechizo embriagador. Obsesionante dulzura y hechizo embriagador. Esas manilas, ira, la 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 ira, la 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 ira, la 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 ira, la 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 ira, la 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 ira, la la. Obsesionante dulzura y hechizo embriagador.
Mi tierra de Cochabamba es tierra maravillosa, es una tierra para vivir. De gente linda y sencilla, amable y cariñosa, que rinde culto a la vida, es una tierra, tierra feliz. De gente linda y sencilla, amable y cariñosa, que rinde culto a la vida, es una tierra, tierra feliz. Qué lindas son sus mujeres, bailando todas sonríen, saya bonita para bailar. Se dan gusto y comparten, como es costumbre en su gente. Ríe, canta y se divierte, siempre hay motivo para gozar. Se dan gusto y comparten, como es costumbre en su gente. Ríe, canta y se divierte, siempre hay motivo para gozar. Yajuita, quilquiña y una sabrosa taquiña. Qué linda mi gente de Cochabamba. Yajuita, quilquiña y una sabrosa taquiña.
Campeón, 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 señoras y señores. El Rojo del Valle se acaba de proclamar campeón del fútbol boliviano.
Let's have a look at the ingredients first for making this maple soy glazed salmon. We have soy sauce, maple syrup, organic pepper, salt. We have nice butter, cut lemon slices, chopped garlic, and chopped green onions for garnish. But most important of all, here is the Pacific salmon fillet. Let's prepare the salmon for baking. First, we wash the salmon and then pat it dry as shown. Next, we spread butter on top. So we grab the butter knife and we start spreading it nicely and evenly with butter. We then season the salmon with salt and pepper. And then we put the lemon slices on top of the salmon fillet. We do this because when we cook the salmon inside the oven, the lemon juices will marinate the salmon and it will taste extremely good. Alright, now it's time to put the salmon in the oven. The oven has been preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. We put the salmon in and bake for about 15 minutes. While we are waiting for the salmon to bake, let's prepare the maple soy glaze. In a bowl of chopped garlic, we add soy sauce. Next, we have to add our maple syrup. After we add the maple syrup and soy sauce, we simply stir and then take the bowl to the stove. To make the glaze, we need to simmer the garlic, soy sauce, and maple syrup in a pan. The salmon is cooked and ready to take out of the oven after 15 minutes. After removing the lemons from the salmon is now placed on a plate with cooked Kraft Dinner and cooked carrots. We now put the warm maple soy glaze over the salmon and garnish with green onions. And voila! Maple soy glazed salmon, a bon appetit!
It's been 16 incredible seasons in Hell's Kitchen.
White Rock is an oceanfront city situated in British Columbia, Canada. It is very near to the US-Canada border. White Rock was first inhabited by the Semiahmoo First Nations, and settlements were later constructed by the Europeans. The Semiahmoo First Nations now have a reserve in the area. Across the water is the U.S. city of Blaine and numerous islands called the Gulf Islands. The White Rock Pier is the longest pier in Canada. There was a brief period of time in which the middle section of the pier was destroyed in a storm after standing for over 100 years. It has since been repaired and reopened. Currently, a railway connecting the US and Canada runs along the beach. The city's namesake, the White Rock, is thought to have migrated to its home on the beach during the last glaciation. In the 19th century, the rock was used as a beacon by sailors due to its white coloration from seabird guano. Now, the rock's color is maintained through the periodic application of paint. The local Coast Salish peoples tell of the legend of the White Rock. According to said legend, a young chief threw a rock across the water from Vancouver Island and had decided that he would move wherever the rock landed, along with his bride. The White Rock is said to mark the landing spot of this stone.
So this is the ingredients to get started on pilav / biryani. And so what we have here is my spices, and this is the vegetables and all the rest of the ingredients. So first we have zucchini, then we have tomatoes, we have some vegetables that are cut up such as peas and corn, we have some nuts such as almond and cashews, now we have bay leaves mixed with some spices such as clove and cinnamon, now we have yogurt mixed with some spices as well such as red chili powder, we have turmeric powder, then we have cottage cheese, which is fried in butter. Yes, fried in butter. And we have saffron, and we have celery, and we have rice. So on, I started putting all the ingredients in. We have set the gas to a medium speed, so between 5 and 6 on our stove. And so what I did was so far I've added 2 spoons of, this is called ghee in our language, but it's butter. And so we put 2 spoons of butter in here. Then we put a hint of this powder called asafoetida powder. And in this mixture over here, we put half a spoon of cumin, half a spoon of mustard seeds, and that's it for right now as a base. So now moving on, we now started putting all the other ingredients in, such as, if you look inside, we have this, the cottage cheese, so I'm just going to put all of it in. Next, we have the nuts that we put in. Next, we have all the spices and the bay leaf mixed together, and you're just going to put that in. Next, we're going to put the yogurt mixed with all the spices inside. Okay, let me just scoop everything out. Next, we're going to put the saffron. It's only a hint of saffron, or just a pinch, not too much. Otherwise, it's going to oversaturate the flavor. And now we mix. Just mix this so it has an even, the yogurt and everything gets mixed up. And the sizzle. So now we're going to put all these spices in. We're just going to add a little bit extra. Again, all these measurements are quantitative, so this is all according to your taste and how many people you have. So for example, we already put these spices in. It's a little bit of chili powder, a little bit of salt, like half a spoon. We have some turmeric powder. Then we have some coriander powder. And I'm not sure what we call this in English, but in our language it's called garam masala, which exactly translates to hot or spicy masala. I'm not sure where you can get this, but this is what it translates to. And so all we did was we added all those in, and now we're just mixing it, so all the flavor gets mixed together. Right now we're gonna add the vegetables. So this is the celery. Next is the tomatoes. We're gonna add all the tomatoes. Next is all the zucchini. And now we're gonna add all of the beans, the peas, corn, right into here. And then we're going to stir after. We're going to stir for the best flavor. Just keep stirring for like 30 seconds or so. Right now we're adding some water, just a little bit, just so it's easier to stir. As we go, you add as much as you need. Don't make it too watery, but just make it enough because the water will evaporate. And now we just let it sit there for some time. Now we're going to add the rice. Perfect. So we're just going to pour it in. And this is the main, this is like what the pulao / biryani is surrounded against. This is basically vegetable fried rice, mixed with spices. So now we're just going to mix this. And again, this gas is set at it's set in the medium speed, not too fast, not too slow. And so it's gonna be watery. There's gonna be a lot of water at first, but that's because it's gonna all evaporate once everything comes together. So we just added a bit more water, and so it's gonna look a lot watery, but don't worry about that. It's gonna evaporate. And we're just gonna add a hint of salt right now. So this is again on your taste and your taste buds. So all this stuff is all like this is for 5 people right now. So that's why there's a lot of this. But this is if you're doing for 1 person, you don't want to add too much. So for now, this is what we have. And at the end, we're going to cover this, and we're just going to leave it, and I'll get back to you once everything is done. Around 15 to 20 minutes, and so we basically put the lid over to see if the water would evaporate. And it's on medium gas still, so 15 to 20 minutes on medium gas. So right now we're going to take off the lid and reveal to see if it has turned out right as per what I've been told. And so revealing the lid, as you can see, no water, all the water has evaporated. Okay, and it's basically almost done. We just got to set it on the plate, just got to be here for maybe a few more minutes. And then I'll get back to you once I set it on the plate and it cools down.
Hey y'all, it's Deanna Lee, and we're here at Gasworks Park in Seattle, Washington. I'm going to show you the Canadian Stomp, and here from the Boot Boogie Babes to help me, it's Bettina and my girl Jamie. Hi. We're going to turn around and show you how Canadian Stomp goes. We start with the right foot. We bring the toe in, the heel out, and then we stomp, taking a nice walking step forward. Then we go toe in, heel out, stomp, walking forward. Repeat. Toe, heel, stomp, toe, heel, stomp. Now we're gonna walk it back with the right. We walk it back, then rock and replace. Now we're gonna do a grapevine, right and scuff, grapevine, quarter turn and scuff, rock it forward and replace, rock it forward and replace. Then the Canadian stomp starts over. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Baby, don't say no so quick. This ain't about me trying to see how far that I can get. But I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't mind just a little bit of you and I. This on this, sway into the music real close. We can both use a little let go kind of night. Baby, if you want a good time, we can get on it. Just take a shot and you can sip on it. We'll find the floor, we can dance on it. Slow song it, as far as I can tell, that thing ain't got no rain on it. So come on, baby, bring on it. It's one of those stars falling, love calling. But get you feeling alright now. Sounds good, don't it? Don't it? Every little thing you got to know that I want it, want it.
Hey guys, I'm Nico. I'm from Chile, and today we're gonna be making sopaipillas. The first thing we need is about 250 grams of pumpkin, already cooked and very soft. With this, we are gonna smash them until we get a smooth paste. Then we're gonna add the pumpkin smashed onto a bowl. Then we're gonna add 3.5 cups of flour, followed by 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and 3 tablespoons of melted butter or fat. Then we're going to proceed with mixing it with a spoon a little bit, just to integrate everything and so the flour doesn't fly out when we use the machine. Then we're going to use these guys to mix it with a mixer. After using the mixer, we get an integrated dough, but we still have to use our hands to work it. And of course, hands clean from the beginning of the process. We just work the dough. After we do the dough, we're going to spray some flour on our table, because we're going to spread it out. So once on the table, we're going to use a rolling pin to spread out about half an inch thick. After the dough is rolled out, you want to use something circular, like a cutter, a glass, or a bowl to cut it into its shape. I like to use a bowl personally because it gives a good shape and it's super well later. And then you're going to use a fork and just going to poke it 3 times just right. So after we have our round sopaipillas, what we're going to do is heat up some oil. I prefer to use a pot because it won't splash everywhere. And you can do it with a spoon and carefully we put it in there. Or just very carefully with your hand. And after the brown on both sides, you want to take them out, try to get all of the oil off, and put them in some paper towels so it would soak up the excess oil. You can eat these with confectioner's sugar, very good. Nutella or chocolate, also good. With pebre, which is Chilean salsa, or just salsa, my personal favorite. And with mustard, believe it or not, it's a very good combination.
Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Remember me to one who lives there. She once was a true love of mine. Tell her to make me a cambric shirt. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Without no seams or needlework, then she'll be a true love of mine. Tell her to find me an acre of land, parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Between the salt water and the sea strands, then she'll be a true love of mine. Tell her to reap it with a sickle of leather, parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, and gather it all in a bunch of heather, then she'll be a true love of mine. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Remember me to one who lives there. She once was a true love of mine.
Hello everyone, this is Kudusari Tushulme, a student of Global Space School from Ethiopia. Today I'll be interviewing my father, Dr. Enoch, about a historical event that will represent the culture of our society. Let's continue.
Thank you, Kudusay. Thank you for your invitation, and I will talk about some system that represents Ethiopia and also Africa. Of course, represents human being.
What is this system? What kind of system is it?
Yeah, this system is called Gada, and it is a socio-political system in which basically the Oromo ethnic group administers itself and has been administering itself for centuries, and it is appreciated by many scholars as the oldest democratic system exercised by human being ever. And it is registered by UNESCO as Human's Heritage, Intangible Heritage, in 2016, November 13, and it was celebrated by World Heritage Management and UNESCO.
What kind of rituals does this system follow? Is it religious, or is it socio-political, or what kind of system is it?
As I mentioned earlier, it is a political, social, and also religious. By political I mean, Gada divides society into 5 classes, and these 5 classes, turn by turn, assumes power, and that power is also categorized into different parties, and parties are representing different clans, and these representatives form some assembly called Gumi, and they administer as a parliament. And the system also helps the children of Oromos, teaching them philosophy, war, and different skills that are important for their life. As to the ritual, or as to the religion, I mean, Oromos religion is monolithic. Oromos believe in Waka, that Waka equates with God. And the fascinating thing regarding this is Oromos believe that God is black. This is the unique character in the Oromos ritual, of course.
How do you keep timeline of this system? I mean, do we have track of since when this system was being applicable?
Of course, still we couldn't find recorded history, but the oral history evidences that it is before centuries.
Before centuries?
Before centuries. At least 5 or 6 centuries back.
Wow, that's really long.
Yeah.
So, how is the Gada system being applied in our current daily life? Is it being applied to resolve disputes? How is it applied? How is it being applied in the current cultural status of Ethiopia, and especially the Oromo ethnic group?
By the way, even before many European countries and Americans started exercising women's rights, that recognizes women's place in democracy in society. The Council Assembly is assembly formed by totally women. And that tradition helps that in conflict resolution, in natural protection, natural heritage protection, and also if some modifications are done, it can be also used as the base for flourishing democracy in Ethiopia.
Wow, that's really great. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Bye bye.
On n'est pas sérieux quand on a 17 ans. Un beau soir, foin des bocs et de la limonade, des cafés tapageurs aux lustres éclatants, on va sous les tilleuls verts de la promenade. Les tilleuls sentent bon dans les bons soirs de juin. L'air est parfois si doux qu'on ferme la paupière. Le vent, chargé de bruit, la ville n'est pas loin, a des parfums de vigne et des parfums de bière. Voilà qu'on aperçoit un tout petit chiffon, d'azur sombre, encadré d'une petite branche, piqué d'une mauvaise étoile qui se fond avec de doux frissons, petite et toute blanche. Nuit de juin, 17 ans, on se laisse griser. La sève et du champagne et vous monte à la tête. On divague, on se sent aux lèvres un baiser qui palpite là comme une petite bête.
Le cœur fou Robinson à travers les romans. Lorsque, dans la clarté d'un pâle réverbère, passe une demoiselle aux petits airs charmants, sous l'ombre du faux col effrayant de son père. Et, comme elle vous trouve immensément naïf, tout en faisant trotter ses petites bottines, elle se tourne, alerte et d'un mouvement vif. Sur vos lèvres alors meurent les cavatines. Vous êtes amoureux, loué jusqu'au mois d'août. Vous êtes amoureux, vos sonnets la font rire, tous vos amis s'en vont, vous êtes mauvais goût. Puis l'adoré un soir a daigné vous écrire. Ce soir-là, vous rentrez aux cafés éclatants, vous demandez des bocs ou de la limonade. On n'est pas sérieux quand on a 17 ans et qu'on a des tilleuls verts sur la promenade.
Souffle sur les plaines de la Bretagne armoricaine. Je jette un dernier regard sur ma femme, mon fils et mon domaine. Hakim, le fils du forgeron, est venu me chercher. Les druides ont décidé de mener le combat dans la vallée, là où tous nos ancêtres, de géants guerriers celtes, après de grandes batailles se sont imposés en maîtres. C'est l'heure maintenant de défendre notre terre contre une armée de cimériens prête à croiser le fer. Toute la tribu s'est réunie autour de grands menhirs pour invoquer les dieux afin qu'elle puisse nous bénir. Après cette prière avec mes frères sans faire état de zèle, les chefs nous ont donné à tous des gorgées d'hydromel pour le courage, pour pas qu'il y ait de faille, pour rester grand et fier quand nous serons dans la bataille. Car c'est la première fois pour moi que je pars au combat et j'espère être digne de la tribu de Dana.
Aïe!
Hi guys, I'm Patrick, 16 years old from Germany, and today I want to present you my home city and some traditional food eaten in my country. So first of all we start with my home city. It's called Telchte and it's in the west of Germany. We have about 20,000 inhabitants and you see the city is very small, but although it's small it has some historical places which are very interesting to visit at. And let's go, we look at some. The first place we are looking at is the church St. Clemens. It was built in year 1557 and the fun fact is that the church is the highest building in Telchte. to the church we have a chapel and a museum. The chapel is already about 1350 years old and was built between 1557 and 1654. The museum presents historical and religious objects at the moment, but it changes its exhibitions every few months. Finally, we have a place which is not historical, but for me important, because I'm spending there a lot of time. It's my school. It's called the MSMG and has 3 gyms, 2 football fields and of course the main building. So now you have seen some interesting places in my home city, but I promised you that we will cook something traditional. So first of all, the meal is called Nudelsalat, and it's more like a salad which contains mainly noodles, peas, corn and yogurt. So let's go to the market and buy this stuff.
There's no one else who loves me like you used to. Some days I'm not myself. There's no one I can turn to.
Okay, so now we are at home and we can start cooking the traditional food which is called Nudelsalat. Okay, therefore we have corn, peas, cucumbers, yogurt, sausage, noodles, mayo, broth and paprika powder. Okay, the first step is that we take the noodles and cook them. Okay, while the noodles are cooking, we can start to cut these cucumbers in small pieces. After that we can take the sausage and cut them into small bricks. So now we have to mix these ingredients, therefore we're taking a bowl and we need some of this water from the cucumbers.
It might take some time, but I'll be alright. I'm moving on, moving on. I know times are tough, but I've had enough. I'm moving on, I'm moving on.
Okay, finally we take the sausage, the cucumbers, the corn and the peas, everything in this bowl. Finally we are ready and the salad should look like this.
Hey guys, this is my Culture Faire video about Germany and have fun watching!
place where colors are doubly bright, where contradictions come together beautifully with 2 million gods, and everyone is worshipped. Everywhere, time is precious, but in India, it's auspicious. Let's see how. India is a land of festivals. These festivals come with its own culture and its long history. Do you know why we celebrate Holi? Let's find out. Once there lived a king Hiranyakashipu who was blessed by God that no animal or human can kill him. Soon he became arrogant and told everyone to worship him. But his own son Prahlad refused to worship him because he was a devotee of Lord Narayana. So he subjected Prahlad to cruel punishment. But Prahlad was always safe. The king decided to send his sister Holika to sit with Prahlad on fire with him, while Holika had a cloak that can protect her. But suddenly a strong wind blew and burned Holika and his evil brother's plan. Later on, Lord Narayana appeared as half human and half animal and killed Hiranyakashipu with his claws, marking the end of evil. This symbolic legend is the reason behind the festival of triumph of good over evil. People burn bonfires before the day of Holi, and later they celebrate it with beautiful colors, spreading happiness and love, and as a marking of forgive and forget. The next Indian legend is about the epitome of love, Taj Mahal, one of the 7 wonders of the world, built by Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan, in the loving memory of his late wife Mumtaz Mahal. This beautiful colossal took 22 years to get built up. No wonder it's breathtaking, isn't it? This beauty, though alluring, did not come without the painless price. Now the myth that goes saga around the world is that Shah Jahan decreed that after the completion of this beautiful Taj Mahal, nothing as beautiful as this could ever be built up again, because he promised his late wife that he will make the world's best monument in his loving memory. To ensure this, he ordered that the hands of the entire workforce be amputated. Do you believe it? I mean, cutting the hands of 22,000 workforce only so that nobody makes this beautiful, magnificent Taj Mahal? Yes, it happened in India. Next up, we have a beautiful story behind the oldest book, Mahabharata, which was written by Lord Ganesha, the elephant-headed god, which was recited to him by a sage Vyas, as he wants someone intelligent enough to pace up with his speed. As they both sat together writing it, Lord Ganesha said that I will only write this book if you agree on not stopping it even to take a breath. Maharishi Vyas immediately agreed it and then said, you have to promise me one more thing. That you have to first understand the meaning of the phrases and then only write it. As soon as he started writing, suddenly the wooden tip pen of Lord Ganesha broke off and he couldn't find any pen all around. So he thought that I will not be able to complete it in time, so he suddenly broke one of his tusks and started to write. Now he is worshipped by Indians as one-toothed god.
I'm going to teach you some line dances today. So the first one we're going to start with is the Cupid Shuffle. So you're going to start on your right foot. We're going to travel for 4 steps to the right. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to go 4 steps to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now 4 heel digs out in front. Right, left, right, left. And then we're going to march around to the next wall for 8 counts. And you're going to go to your left wall. So for me, this is my left, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it'll take 8 marches to get there. So let's try that again. 5, 6, ready, go. 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, heel digs, right, left, right, left, then march 8, 7, 6, 5, next wall, here we go. Same thing to every wall, and now let's try it with the music.
Hi, I'm Cormac and I'm from Ireland. Sport's a major part of our culture, and we have two native games: hurling, played with a hurley, and a baseball-sized ball called a sliotar, and Gaelic football, played with a ball the size of a soccer ball. I'll tell you about hurling first. Hurling is played in a 140-metre long grass pitch. There's 2 goals at both ends and 15 players on each team. There's 2 ways to score. If you put it in the net, it's worth 3 points, and if you put it over the bar, it's worth 1 point. You can't pick the ball off the floor. You have to either roll pick it into your hand or jab pick it. Once the ball is in your hand, you can take 3 steps, or you either have to strike the ball or start soloing it, which is balancing the ball on your hurley. Gaelic football is the second native sport to Ireland, and the scoring is the same as in hurling. The same as hurling, you can't hold the ball in your hand for more than 3 steps. After 3 steps, you have 2 choices. You can either bounce the ball, or you can solo it. Each county picks its 15 best players to play for the county team. At the end of the year, the 2 best teams play in the All-Ireland final, where 85,000 people watch them play.
This is Peel Castle. Tell us something about Peel Castle, Joe.
Peel Castle had a dog called the Morgie Doo. He killed quite a few of the guards there.
Dad? You know, yeah, we have weapons.
We have weapons, don't we, Pat?
Military defence.
But either a fortune is to be made for some, short of man will be difference of opinion between folks.
And plain hearing on the back of the ocean itself. Begging for bad luck if you ask me.
Have a cup of tea from the stove. Don't mind the boys down on the quay. Lost the use of their legs.
Okay, so I'm taking you with me on a journey around Rome. So this is where I live. So yeah, I am going by bike. I would usually take public transportation, but you know, because of coronavirus, I will go by bike, and it is an excuse for me to do some exercise. So let's go. Okay, so we have reached the bike path, and we need to get to an area called Prati, and from there to the city center. So we are in this area called Prati, and I am not sure where I'm taking you exactly. I was up there on that hill, yes, minutes ago, and that's also up on the hill where my primary school is, and I love that place. Behind the high school there is a middle school, which is the one I attended. We are in Piazza Cavour. I usually meet up here with my friends, and this is a building that we call in Rome Palazzaccio. This is my school. I have missed it so much because I haven't been here since the 4th of March. Yeah. We are finally crossing the river. We finally are in Piazza del Popolo. This is an obeliscus. I don't remember much about it. I'm so sorry. Look how pretty this is, I love it. We are now in Via del Corso, so that's Piazza del Popolo, and this is the most important major shopping area in the city. So at the end of the street there is Piazza Venezia and Altare della Patria, Altare della Patria and the Capitolium. So that one is Via del Corso where we were. I turned left because I want to reach Piazza di Spagna. Okay, so it is Via dei Condotti, this one, which together with Via del Babuino, yes, this street is one of the most luxurious ones. This is the Altare della Patria. Yes. Maybe I should go. I don't know. First of all, I need to cross the street and nowhere. This is Piazza del Campidoglio, the square where the capital is. Well, actually, this hill is called Campidoglio, and that is the
Amor ch'al cor gentile ratto s'apprende, prese costui della bella persona, che mi fu tolta, e il modo ancor m'offende. Amor ch'a nulla amato amar perdona, mi prese del costui piacer sì forte, che, come vedi, ancor non m'abbandona. Amor condusse noi ad una morte, Cain attende, che a vita ci spense.
Well, 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 those are some of the most famous lines from a masterpiece, The Divine Comedy. More precisely, they are taken from the fifth canto of the Inferno. Oh, sorry, I haven't introduced myself yet. I'm Dante Alighieri, and I'm considered by many as the most important Italian writer of all time, and The Divine Comedy is the greatest literary work in the Italian language. I'll bring you through a short journey around Italy, showing you the cities which have been capitals of this nation after its unification in 1861. Unfortunately, when the country was unified, Rome was still under the papacy's control. Therefore, other cities were appointed as capital with the promise to take Rome one day. So, the capital cities before Rome were Turin from 1861 to 1865 and Florence from 1865 to 1871. However, during World War II, the capital was temporarily moved to Brindisi from 1943 to 1944 and to Salerno in 1944. So, let's start our journey around Italy together. Turin is a city and an important business and cultural center in northern Italy. It is the capital city of Piedmont, and it was probably built around the 3rd century before Christ by a population called Taurins. Later on, it became a Roman colony and took the Latin name of Julia Augusta Taurinorum. After many changes of power, in 1563, it became the capital of the Duchy of Savoy, then of the Kingdom of Sardinia, and the first capital of the Kingdom of Italy from 1861 to 1865. The symbol of Turin is the Mole Antonelliana, named after the architect who built it, Alessandro Antonelli. Construction began in 1863 as a Jewish synagogue. Nowadays, it houses the National Museum of Cinema, and it is believed to be the tallest museum in the world at 167 meters. We can now move to the second city appointed as capital of the newly founded country. Florence is the capital city of the region of Tuscany. The city was a center of medieval European trade and finance, as was one of the wealthiest cities of its era. It is considered to be the birthplace of the Renaissance and has been called by many as the Athens of the Middle Ages due to the contemporary presence in the city of the greatest artists in that time, such as the painter Masaccio, the sculptor Donatello, and the architect Brunelleschi. Its turbulent political history includes periods of rule by the powerful Medici family and numerous religious and republican revolutions. From 1865 to 1871, as we already mentioned before, the city served as the capital of the Kingdom of Italy. We have reached now the final leg of the journey, the current capital of Italy, the amazing Rome. Rome's history spans 28 centuries. While Roman mythology dates the founding of Rome at around 753 before Christ, the site has been inhabited for much longer, making it one of the oldest continuously occupied cities in Europe. It is regarded by many as the first imperial city and metropolis. After the fall of the empire in the west, which marked the beginning of the Middle Ages, Rome slowly fell under the political control of the papacy, and in the 8th century, it became the capital of the Papal States, which lasted until 1870. On the 20th of September 1870, the Bersaglieri, Italian soldiers, broke into Rome and took control from the papacy. This historical event is remembered as La Breccia di Porta Pia, the city door through which the soldiers entered the city. In 1871, Rome became the capital of the Kingdom of Italy, which in 1946 became the Italian Republic.
I live in Astana, capital of Kazakhstan. Astana is very modern and young capital. Astana has a lot of interesting places, and one of the most interesting, historically significant and beautiful places is Astana Promenade. I live near Astana Promenade and I prepared some video edit of clips with Astana Promenade, so enjoy. I would like to play some national music on our national instrument named Dombra, and compositions on our national instrument Dombra named Kui. I would like to play Kui named Sararka, very great and very famous Kui from also great and famous compositor, Kazakh compositor Kurmangazi. Next, I will dance for you our traditional and very ancient dance named Kara Jurga.
Kara jorga bolmasa biydin senni keler mi? Koz etek öyle giynese kızdın senni keleni. Algan eki joldaşlar biröwün şık toy baslar. Toy degende deydeken domalaydı kuvaslar.
I would like to recite a poem of great and famous Kazakh poet Abay. Ғылым таппай мақтанба, орын таппай баптанба, құмарланып шаттанба, ойнап босқа күлуге. Бес нәрседен қашық бол, бес нәрсеге асық бол. Адам болам десеңіз, тілеуін өмірін алдында оған қайғы жесеңіз. Өсек, өтірік, мақтаншақ, еншек, бекер мал шашпақ. Бес дұшпанын білсеңіз. Талап, еңбек, терең ой, қанағат, рақым ойлап қой. Бес асыл іс көнсеңіз. National and traditional kitchen of Kazakhstan is very rich and there are a lot of meat. Next you will see the process of cooking beshparmak, our national and traditional food. Today is 20th of July, my father's birthday, and we are cooking beshparmak, national traditional food of Kazakhs. There are a lot of meat So here we go. My mom is putting dough for beshparmak to this dish named tabak, and a few moments later we will eat beshparmak, and it will be amazing. This is a special sauce named tuzluk, a very special liquid from horse meat. The main part of beshparmak is meat, horse meat. Maybe it is weird for Western countries to eat horse meat, but it is okay in Kazakhstan. It is very delicious. Here we have different parts of horse meat, and we are adding it to the beshparmak. And horse meat, it is the main part of beshparmak. It is very important. So beshparmak is ready, and we can eat beshparmak and enjoy this beautiful, amazing, magnificent, delicious taste. So here we go. Now beshparmak is totally ready, and we can taste it and enjoy.
Next, you'll see short interview with my parents.
Как вы думаете, какое историческое событие изменило наше сообщество?
Ну, если брать недавнее прошлое, ну, это, конечно, получение независимости Казахстаном после распада СССР. Мы все дети СССР. Все это было на наших глазах, в нашей жизни. Вот. Когда Казахстан приобрел независимость, стал самостоятельным государством, вот это, наверное, такое самое значимое событие в нашем веке.
Наше общество изменило, наша независимость. Более 30 лет мы живем в независимом, свободном государстве, имеем возможность свободно развиваться и говорить свободно о своем мнении, имеем возможность выезжать за рубеж, учиться. Наши дети имеют возможность разговаривать на нескольких языках, учиться за рубежом. Мы сами имеем возможность посещать другие государства, другие континенты, свободно общаться со всеми людьми мира. Мы люди мира.
los labios por la piel. Así te envuelve México, así te sabe México, y así se lleva México en la piel. Como un buen zarape de Saltillo, como bienvenida en Veracruz, con la emoción de un beso frente a frente, así se lleva México en la piel. Como en la laguna de Chapala, descubrir un bello amanecer, tener en Ajijic la fresca brisa, la luna acariciando a esa mujer.
Hi, I'm Jimena Salcedo from Mexicali, Baja California, Mexico. Mexico is known to have a diverse culture and incredible biodiversity. Therefore, today I decided to introduce to you my state, Baja California. Baja California is divided in 5 municipalities, each with a different geographical feature. In Baja California, you can do different activities like surfing, sandboarding, ultralight, skydiving, rappel, hiking, kayaking, whale shark swimming, gray white shark swimming, whale watching. You can go to national parks, valleys like Valle de los Cirios. There's a lot of camping, diving, cycling. But apart from that, Baja California is known for its award-winning wineries. Baja's wine country is comprised of over 150 wineries over several valleys. Apart from everything, a very important aspect to us is food. Therefore, every municipality has unique restaurants and food trucks because the food is directly related to the geographical feature of the city. A newly developed activity is brewing. From a few years back till now, brewing has become an important activity for locals. And last but not least, there also is museums to learn about Baja California's history and other activities, such as concerts in wineries, conferences, etc. To finish, I would like to talk a little bit about Mexicali. Mexicali is a small town bordered with a U.S. small town called Calexico. Fun fact about Mexicali, Mexicali has a huge part of Chinese culture. So much so that we are recognized around the world for the Chinese food, and we have underground tunnels where Chinese people used to live called Chinesca. Also, we have a beach like 2 hours from here, and we're nearest to El Cañón de Guadalupe with thermal water. Also, our view of the road is this. It's called La Rumorosa. And that's it. Thank you.
Namibia, a country with a history of colonization and administration under South Africa's apartheid government. A country with more than 12 ethnic groups, mixed cultures, comparable small cities, and a population who loves to talk about rainfall. A country with vast landscapes and rare animals. But what do all Namibians have in common? With so many differences and varieties, the answer might seem complicated. It is not. All Namibians have Namibia in common, a love and pride for their country. Today, Namibia is a fascinating country with every aspect of its history imprinted on the cities, the towns, the architecture, the cuisine, and the people. The first cultures who inhabited Namibia lived a gatherer lifestyle in the desert regions. Europeans came during the 18th century and left their footprints, and many remnants of Namibia's colonial history remain. Namibians from European descent consider Namibia their home, My family, for instance, came to Namibia 150 years ago as missionaries. Namibia was a German colony, an influence visible in the architecture of important buildings in our main capital, Windhoek. The Christuskirche, the architect was a Rediker, and the Tintenpalace. Another famous German tradition to be found in Namibia is the beer brewed according to the German Reinheitsgebot. In an independent Namibia, the European influence lives side by side with the indigenous cultures, creating a country that is one of a kind. A country of color and diversity in everything from food to fashion to music. Here are some of our more than 12 ethnical groups: the Obambo, Kavango, Herero, Himba, Damara, Bastas, White, Nama, Caprivian, San and Swanas. Each ethnic group still follows some of their old tradition. A typical Namibian dish is kapana, which is a street food. Kapana sellers work side by side in the marketplaces to sell their meats fresh off the grill. It is typically cooked over charcoal on a metal grill. One of the famous drinks in Namibia is tombo, a homemade beer. It is mostly brewed and sold in shebeens, which are comparable to bars. Another dish is potjie, a stew that cooks for hours in the fire, which I introduced to you in my recipe. Namibia is a unique country, and I'm proud to have experienced this uniqueness with my family by traveling endless hours through my country. It offers space, silence, and a chance to really get away from it all. It's the second least densely populated country on the planet, with only 2 people per square kilometer. You can drive for hours under huge blue skies without seeing another car, surrounded by landscapes so vast and empty that at times you feel like you're on the edge of the planet. Namibia is the driest country of the Sahara, covered in deserts, and it is bordered by 7 rivers. Namibia's extreme landscapes are a big part of why the country is so unique. The country is home to some of Africa's most spectacular natural sights. The southern border to South Africa is the Orange River, which is fed by the Fish River, famous for the Fish River Canyon. It is the largest canyon in Africa with a length of 160 kilometers. In the west you will find the Namib Desert, the oldest desert in the world. It stretches for more than 2,000 kilometers along the Atlantic coast, extending up to 450 kilometers inwards. After independence in 1990, the country was named Namibia from a Nama Damara word meaning shield used for the coastal desert, the Namib, which long protected the interior from access by sea. The famous Sossus Bay dunes and the Skeleton Coast are found in the Namib. Here you will find a bizarre mix of desert and ocean. About 50% of Namibia are natural reserves. The famous natural reserve is the Etosha National Park, which translates to Great White Place. It is home to a wildlife haven and is one of the most easily accessible and adored places to visit. The dry climate gives rise to an array of unique plants and animals adapted to the harsh climate. Rare and beautiful are the desert-adapted elephants, only to be found in Namibia. We have a healthy population of protected rhinos, giraffes, and wild horses. Other carnivores like the lion, the leopard, the cheetah, and wild dogs can be watched roaming the country freely. Another Namibian only is the welwitschia, which can live for more than thousands of years. If you reach the north of Namibia, you will be astonished to see a green oasis. The Kunene, the Kavango, the Zambezi, the Kavango, the Chobe rivers border Namibia in the north and northeast. The Caprivi resembles a huge contrast to the rest of Namibia and is my favorite spot in Namibia. Here you find the famous hippos, crocodiles, elephants, buffaloes, and a great variety of bird life. Our flag resembles the diversity of our country. The yellow sun representing the sunlight and the desert, and with its rays the different ethnical groups. The blue indicating the ocean and the rain, and the green the vegetation and crops. The red is a reminder of the blood shed in war, and the white as a symbol for peace and reconciliation. Namibia is truly a smile on the face of Africa.
Kia ora everyone, it's Robbie. Welcome to Aotearoa, New Zealand for this year's Global Space School Culture Fair. I'm really excited to show you around some of our province's Taranaki and some of the cool things that Aotearoa, New Zealand has to offer. Come along.
As I said before, I come from the beautiful region of Taranaki, on the west coast of the North Island of Aotearoa, New Zealand. New Zealand is an awesome place to live, and with the huge bush areas and stunning 2,400 metre mountain standing in our region, it is the perfect place for me to, whether it be on my bike or in my tramping boots, get lost in the wilderness. Getting outdoors, exploring and utilising or connecting with nature is actually a very cultural thing for New Zealanders, hence why I've included it in the Culture Faire. And it is something that we have always done, from the early Polynesian, later Māori settlers who discovered New Zealand in the 1300s, to the greats such as Edmund Hillary climbing the slopes of Everest.
Our region, Taranaki, has great historical significance because it was the prominent location in the New Zealand Land Wars, which started right here in Pukerangi Ora Pa in 1860. Behind me, you can see the saps, which were built by Rangitake and Tiatiawa when the Europeans attacked this pa at the beginning of the war. Brutal conflict continued in Taranaki until 1881, when the Europeans had pushed back the Māori all the way around the coast to the peaceful village of Pariaka, which they invaded on November the 5th, 1881. Instead of being met with rifle fire and clubs, the invaders found the local women and children offering bread to them while singing songs. Through these actions, Te Whiti o Rongomai and Tohu Kākahi had shown the first ideas of passive resistance, a technique used all over the world in following years by other great leaders such as Mahatma Gandhi. The community of Pariaka still survives in Taranaki today, and their stories are a constant reminder of Aotearoa New Zealand and Taranaki's incredible history in both conflict but incredible leadership as well.
So there's a little insight into some of New Zealand and Taranaki's history and culture. I hope you guys enjoyed what I'd put together. Finally, I'd like to leave you with some famous words of a great global space school team. Cheer bro, aloha kenza, and peace out.
Hey guys, I'm Tanya. I'm in New Zealand and I'm in Auckland right now, which is one of the most populated cities in New Zealand, and I'm standing in front of the Sky Tower. Okay, so it's one of the biggest landmarks in New Zealand. It's about over 320 meters tall with around 60 floors. You can bungee jump and walk around the outer edges of the Sky Tower, so it's great for tourists.
So I'm back at New Plymouth now, which is on the west coast of the North Island, which is where I live, and I'm at Pukekura Park, which is one of the main parks in the city. And there's this really cool festival that's held there called the Festival of Lights, where there's Technicolor forests and colourful waterfalls and lots of lakes and walks, and it's a really big attraction for tourists. But other than that, this park literally just has everything from lakes to trails to cafes.
Outside the Limelight Art Gallery. Those of you outside New Plymouth probably know it as the tall, wavy, shiny building.
The Limelight Art Gallery is New Zealand's only art gallery dedicated to a single artist, so it's pretty significant to New Zealand.
Okay, I'm at the walkway, the coastal walkway.
The coastal walkway is a pretty big part of New Plymouth. It kind of borders the sea and the city, and it's got landmarks along the way like the Wind Wand, which is done by Len Lai.
Okay, I'm outside Paratutu Rock right now and I'm about to climb the stairs.
This is a pretty well-known hiking destination. It's around a 100-meter climb up, but it is pretty steep, so that kind of makes up for its short length.
About halfway up the staircase of Paratutu Rock, the stairs just keep going, and then at a certain point the stairs are gone and you just have to use a rope. It's pretty windy today, so I'm just gonna stop.
Of course, now we have Mount Taranaki, which is New Zealand's most perfectly formed volcano. At lower altitudes, you'll walk through tall rimu trees, and at higher up the volcano, you'll walk through subalpine shrubs and herb fields and rainforests. The walking track is pretty extensive. There's the Puakai circuit, multiple tracks around the Dawson Falls, eroded rock pools that are connected to waterfalls, and it takes around 6 to 8 hours to get to the summit.
Hello, I'm Diana from Russia. Today I want to show you my native city and my culture. Russia is a big country with lots of different towns and cities with its own monuments, sites and nature. Today I'm going to show you my native city, Moscow. By the way, we're in the center of Moscow in Red Square. Millions of tourists visit Red Square in Moscow every year to admire these masterpieces of Russian culture. So let's start our journey. And now we're on the bank of the Moscow River. There is the Cathedral of Christ the Savior, the main Orthodox cathedral of Russia, and now we are going to see it. Let's go. This cathedral is very beautiful and Russian people like it very much. That's why people from all over the country come here during every Orthodox holiday. By the way, we're on the bridge. There are 35 bridges over the Moscow River, the main river of Moscow. People like these bridges because we can see fantastic views from them. For example, here we can see the monuments of Peter I on his ship, and on the other side we can admire a fantastic view of the White House and the Kremlin. Continuing our journey, we are on the Nikitsky Boulevard. By the way, we have many boulevards in Moscow. We have even the Boulevard Road Ring. So let's have a look on this boulevard together. And now we continue our exploration of Boulevard Road Ring. And now we're on the Gogolyevsky Boulevard, which is named after the famous Russian writer Nikolai Vasilievich Gogol. Let's see it.
You can see that our boulevards are very green. It's fantastic that we have an opportunity to breathe fresh air, to see grasses, trees and flowers in such a big modern city.
We're on the urban street. By the way, we have two urban streets, the old one and the new one. Our citizens enjoy walking here, meeting friends, having a cup of coffee, going shopping and just relaxing. So let's end our journey by walking down this beautiful street. Our journey. I really enjoyed walking around my native city that I really like with you. And now I want to show you how to cook our Russian traditional pancakes. Let's do it together. Now we're on my kitchen and we are going to cook Russian pancakes. Let's do it.
Firstly, we beat together an egg and 1.5 spoon of sugar. Add in 3/4 cup of milk. Then we add 1 cup of flour and a pinch of salt and beat everything together. After that, we add 3/4 of a cup of water and 1.5 spoon of vegetable oil. Then we beat everything together once more. Now we're ready to cook our pancakes. We will do it over medium heat. Firstly, we should pour a little oil into the pan. Then we pour dough into the pan, spreading it over the surface. We should flip our pancake when it is ready on one side. It will be even tastier if we add a little butter to the prepared pancake. We have cooked very tasty Russian pancakes together. You can eat it with caviar, with fish, with jam, sour cream, chocolate, and with everything that you want. They are very delicious. Thanks for watching this video. Help yourself. Bye!
Hi, I'm Megan. I'm from the southwest coast of Scotland. I'm 17 and here's a little insight to where I live. This is the beautiful Scottish countryside. It's really close to where I live. This is Stumpy Tower. It is in the middle of our main street and it used to be a jail. There's some really interesting history behind it. Sometimes they open it and people get to visit inside, but it's very rare it happens, especially not now due to COVID-19 restrictions. This is the McKechnie Institute. It's also on the main street and it's an art gallery. It's pretty cool. It's a museum. Upstairs there's like an old infirmary room and there's lots of things from our history that's just in the room. I'm sorry I can't show you inside. That point there is what we call the cenotaph. It commemorates all the people that died during World War I and II. So on November the 11th, on the Sunday around that, we have a big parade where all uniformed services around here march down. We have a 2-minute silence and we leave some poppies. It's pretty cool. Welcome to Girvan Coastline. It's basically right on my doorstep. This is the Ailsa Craig, that big rock over there. It's a volcanic plug and it's basically just a big rock of granite. We have an aviary over there, but other than that there's nothing much over there. And over here, there's Girvan Lighthouse. I can't really show you it, but that's about it for Girvan. It's pretty interesting. I'm about to show you another Scottish delicacy, but I need to go into a shop and pay for it, so I'll be back in a second. This is what I was buying. It is iron brew. It's been around since 1901. It's a secret recipe. No one actually knows what it's made of. I mean, I'm sure if you read the ingredients you can figure it out. But it's native to Scotland. Is it native? Is that the word? I don't know. But hey ho! So using the ingredients behind me, I'm going to try and make Scottish shortbread. Concludes my little video about Scotland. I hope you learned a few things. I can't wait to see what I'm going to learn from you guys.
Hi, my name's Amy Henderson. I'm 16 years old and I live on the east coast of Scotland in a place called the Kingdom of Fife. One of the biggest stereotypes about Scottish people is that we're ginger, we wear cows, we play bagpipes and we run around like that all the time, 24/7. Now, while my best friend Ollie and his dad do look like that quite often, I can promise you, we don't all look like that all the time. Fife, especially in Scotland, is known for its beautiful historic sites that are everywhere you turn, around every corner, there's always something. One of these amazing sites is called the Weems Caves. This site happens to be right on my doorstep, 5-10 minutes walk from my house. The Weems Caves is a series of caves that were created around 5,000 to 8,000 years ago by the river the Firth of Forth. These caves are full of historic carvings, some dating back as far as the Bronze Ages. The majority of the work though is from the Dark Ages and was created by Pictish people. Pictish people are Celtic speaking people that were originally from the northeast part of Scotland. These carvings were done through a large time period, anywhere from around 500 AD all the way up till the 8th, 9th century, which makes it incredibly spectacular because you have things as early as 1st century Pictish carvings up to Middle Age carvings, and they are an amazing sight. The thing that makes these caves so extraordinary is that they are known to hold more Pictish carvings than anywhere else in Britain combined. They're also known to hold the first ever depiction of a Viking longboat anywhere else in Britain. For this reason, the caves are protected as a National Heritage Centre, and there is monthly tours around the caves and the whole of East Weems by the primary school that the National Heritage Centre Museum is based in. If you head around 18 miles south from where I live, you get to a town called Dunfermline. Dunfermline used to be the capital of Scotland until 1437, when the royal family felt that moving to Edinburgh Castle, which is now the capital of Scotland, provided more defence and protection of the monarchy due to its location on the Firth of Forth and on the top of a hill. Because it was the capital of Scotland, Dunfermline Abbey is the burial site of many Scottish kings and queens, most famously Robert the Bruce. Robert the Bruce was a Scottish king and died in 1329, after being king for 23 years. Robert the Bruce led Scotland through the First War of the Scottish Independence, with the most famous battle he fought in being the Battle of Bannockburn. In this battle, the Scots were trying to protect the crown jewels and the area of Stirling as a whole. The Scottish men were outnumbered 5-1 by the English, but Robert the Bruce charged forward and came out victorious, winning the battle and protecting the crown jewels. This battle gave us a subject for a national anthem, O Flower of Scotland, which is wrote on the topic of the battle and how Robert the Bruce and his army won and kept Scotland as its own country. If you head north around the coast from where I live, you get to a town called St Andrews. St Andrews is most famous for its world-renowned golf course, which is the oldest golf course in the whole entire world, appropriately named Old Course. Although golf is still a very prevalent part of St Andrews, the other thing that it is very well known for is St Andrews University. This is a place where I've spent so much time over the last 3 years doing summer schools and various different projects, because St Andrews Uni as a whole is very involved in the local community and helping high schools students get to university. St Andrews University is in the top 100 universities in the world and is the third best in the United Kingdom behind Oxford and Cambridge. This university was deemed prestigious enough that the future King and Queen of the United Kingdom met in St Andrews Uni when they were both studying there. The cafe that they met in now has a massive sign in the window that states, "When Kate met Wills." And this sign is a massive tourist attraction. People come from all over just to take pictures with this sign. The university was running for a very long time before William and Kate met there. It was founded in 1413, which means that it has lots of historical buildings and sites within its uni buildings. Along with these old buildings come many superstitions. One of these superstitions is that if you stand on the initials of Patrick Hamilton, you will fail all of your exams. Patrick Hamilton was a student at the university who was unfortunately burned at the stake in 1528 due to his religious beliefs, but it is rest assured the university does not treat its students quite the same now. It has a massive international base for students, so students from all over the world come to Scotland just specifically to go to St Andrews University. Along with not being able to stand on his initials or you'll fail all your exams, it's said that you can see his face in the stonework on St Salvador's quads directly above the initials, which is Patrick Hamilton looking down on you to make sure that you do not get the same fate that he has had. It's pretty much the story. As well as the historical value that Fives holds, it has a beautiful coastline which is called the Aishneuk of Fife. On this coastline, it is home to many traditional fishing towns with many different docks and piers where there's fishermen coming in and out all day long, and it is an amazing sight to see. I feel incredibly lucky to be able to call this amazing part of Scotland and the world home.
Ik weet het voel om te vlieg, al het gevonden, al het verdrink wordt wakker is morgen. Ons kan wees wat ons wil en daar kan geen rails, geen contact, geen rails, geen contact. Ik weet het voel om te vlieg, al het gevonden, al het verdrink wordt wakker is morgen. Ons kan wees wat ons wil en daar kan geen rails, geen contact, geen rails, geen contact. Beloof mij, dit belofte lang. Of is het maar hier, aan die andere kant van die spectrum, waar de druk al zij. Beloof mij, dit belofte lang. Beloof mij, dit belofte lang. Of is het maar hier, aan die andere kant van die spectrum, waar de druk al zij. Beloof mij, dit belofte lang. Ik weet het voel om te vlieg, al het gevonden. When you come to Cape Town, the city by the seaside, you'll meet a lot of friends, have lots of fun. Cape Town's #1. Sunshine, beaches, vineyards, the good times, say hello there. Under Table Mountain, big and blue, Cape Town welcomes you. Welcome to Cape Town. Let's see you smiling. Put on your dancing shoes. Cape Town welcomes you. It's summer and it's New Year. We're so glad that you're here. So come along, old friend, happy days again. Cape Town's around the bend. Oh, welcome to Cape Town. Enjoy the party. Come on.
Hi, I'm Corey Knight, and I'm here at the Kentucky Iron Furnace. Now, as you can see, it's massive, and basically in the 1850s or so, It was used as a way of making pig iron. And, I just think it's interesting and cool to look at. I mean, it's massive. If only you could, it's 40 feet high, right? If only you could be here to see it. But this is important to my culture just because of the fact that I live in Kentucky, where mining is one of our biggest industries. And you can see that going all the way back to the 1800s with these massive operations. I mean, I cannot just justify how massive this thing is. But, yeah, that's me and my culture, I guess.
This recipe, you'll need 6 cups of bread chunks, 1/2 cup of raisins, 1 cup of sugar, 4 beaten eggs, 4 cups of milk, 1/2 tablespoon of cinnamon, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Add vanilla extract to a large bowl with the milk already in it. Add in your 4 beaten eggs. Add in all of your sugar. Then fully mix that container and add it to your pan filled with the bread. This should be very liquidy at first. Make sure to cover everything fully because you want it to soak in really well. And if you have time, you can leave it to soak for several hours. Then sprinkle on your cinnamon and add your raisins, which is very hard to do one-handed. Here's me struggling to add my cinnamon while holding the camera in the other hand. Finally, I decide to just dump it all in, which is fine. Then add your golden raisins on top. Be sure to give this a good mix so everything is evened. After mixing, start to put it into your preheated oven. Clearly I couldn't do this with one hand, so I did have someone record me. Now prepare your powdered sugar, bourbon, and butter. Put the warmed butter into a bowl. Add all of your powdered sugar at once. And start to mix. This should be powdery at first and then start to come together. Slowly incorporate your bourbon, not adding all of it at once. This is a real action shot of me doing this. Mix your sauce for several minutes. It should become very thick. Once you're done, add it to your warm pudding. By keeping the pudding warm, the sauce should melt into a glaze. The pudding should be firm in the center and not very runny. And this is the completed bread pudding.
Hey everybody, my name is Tatiana Vasiliev and I'm from Houston, Texas, United States. As you can probably tell, I'm already in my Texas gear. I have on my cowboy hat, my button down, my belt, my jeans, and my boots. So if you walked around Texas cities, you probably wouldn't see people wearing this very much. But on our farms and our ranches and in our rural populations, it's definitely worn really often to ride the horses and maintain the ranches. So I was thinking about what I wanted to show you guys for my culture fair, and I thought about what you would see if you came down here to America. One thing you would definitely get to experience is our line dancing, especially here in Texas. It's super popular. We do it at school dances, at the rodeo, and in general, it's super fun and easy and quick to learn. You all stand in a line and do the really fun movements. So I'm going to teach you my favorite one, which is the Cotton Eye Joe. So I hope that you guys all stand up and dance with me. It'll be fun. All right, so first I'm going to show you the movements. You're going to stand on one foot, and with your other foot, you're going to tap your heel twice in the front. Then you're going to tap it twice in the back. Then take that same heel, tap it to the side, then hit your heel, tap it to the side again, and hit your heel in the back this time. Now you're going to do a grapevine, which is kind of like walking. You're going to walk to the side, then bring your other foot to the back, walk to the side again, and then together. And then to finish it all off, we're going to do a little spin back to the center. Let's do it again just for practice. So we start off. Heel in the front, toe in the back, toe in the back. Out, hit your heel, out, hit your heel in the back. Do the grapevine, so step, step to the back, step, step together, and bring it back around. Let's speed it up just a little bit. Ready? Heel, heel, toe, toe. Out, heel in the back. Step, step back, step together, turn it back around. Last time, we're going to do it to the pace of the song, and then we'll put it to music. Ready? Heel, heel, toe, toe, out, heel, out, back. Grapevine, and turn it back around. All right, you think you're ready? Let's do it to some music. Get in your places, everybody. Get ready. Right now, you just kind of dance around a little bit. You can do your lasso, whatever you want. Ready? Let's get started. Heel, heel, toe, toe. Out, heel, out, back. Grapevine. We'll turn it back around. And heel, heel, toe, toe. Out, heel, out, back. Grapevine. Turning it back around. Heel, heel, toe, toe. Out, heel, out, back. Grapevine. Turn it back around. Heel, heel, toe, toe. Out, heel, out, back. Grapevine. Turn it back around. Heel, heel, toe, toe. Heel, out, heel. Grapevine. Turn it back around. Yay! Thank you guys. I hope you had fun dancing with me. I definitely did. Y'all should let me know. I can teach you more line dances. It would be super fun. Just a couple more things I want to say about Texas real quick. If you've ever heard that everything's bigger in Texas, it's definitely true. And one more tidbit, saying y'all, all of us say it. I say y'all so much. Anyways, that's all for today. I hope you guys come visit us here in Texas and get to see all of this for yourself. Thank you. Bye, y'all.
Hello, Space School. My name is Saipap Seti, and I'm very excited to present some of the U.S. culture here for you guys today. So what I did for you guys today is play the violin. I've chosen 3 important songs for the American culture, and what you'll see is that I've inserted the names of the songs right before I play each of them on the violin so that it's easier for you guys to follow. So that will be done in the upcoming part of this video. Another thing that I'd like to say about myself is that I'm also Indian, so I'll have an Indian recipe for you guys to maybe try at home at the end of this video. And I've also uploaded it to the Google Drive's recipe folder. Thank you. Hope you guys liked the pieces so far. So the next piece is the Star Spangled Banner, and this is the national anthem for the United States. So I just wanted to say that before moving on to the next piece. Hope you guys enjoy. Hello again, everyone. So I really hoped you liked the 3 pieces that I was able to present for you guys today. Obviously, there's a lot more to the American culture that I simply can't just put in 5 minutes. So hope you guys were able to take away at least something from these past 4 minutes. So upcoming, like I said in the beginning, I am Indian, and I love to stay to my roots. So the recipe I actually prepared is an Indian recipe. So it's called pav bhaji, and there's a QR code on the next screen, so you'll be able to scan it for the access to the full recipe. Thank you.